Hello, hello, and welcome to the stream. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you weren't saying anything.
I thought you were gonna do like a whole intro thing. I was like, I'm not gonna interrupt your
Oh no.
wonderful
Um,
intro.
so welcome to Tea Time with Melanie. I am joined today with Royal. Hello, Royal. He plays Zata in our Dion Rising campaign. I think we're on episode 18 by now. Can you believe it?
It's kind of strange, man. It's like just feels like we started, but it's I guess not really.
I know. So yeah, I think this might be the second time we've been together for tea time.
I think it's the third. I
Third
want to say it's the
time?
third.
Okay, it's the third time. Okay. So yeah, Royal plays Zata in our Dion Rising campaign, and I play Serafina. So Royal, tell us a little bit about what's been going on in the campaign.
What's been going on in the campaign? I don't know if anybody realized it, but I think we're in hell right now. That might be probably a big part.
How is,
Well,
yeah.
and mix in with like Killian's backstory is, and then now we got demons and we got contracts with demons because of Archangel. So
Yeah.
things have gone from pretty pretty like okay, there's a thing happening to we're like saving a person from a curse, maybe finding god artifacts to oh my god, we have demon armies now.
Yeah, things escalated very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So tell me about how Zada is taking everything.
Zata, how does Zata feel about this? Zata is not one to get particularly perturbed by pretty much anything, so
Hmm.
I think he's just rolling with the punches. I think the most thing he's having trouble with is losing his fight and people not understanding his point of view. I think that's
Tell
what's
me more
probably
about
the most
that.
frustrating.
Tell me more about that.
Which one? Which
Let's
one do you
start
want to
with
hear about
losing.
first?
Let's talk about losing the fight, and then we'll do point of view.
Okay. So Zata doesn't want to lose. He never wants to lose. He always wants to prove that he's the strongest
Yeah.
person in the room, and he could barely dent anything that we just fought. Like he was able to hit one thing without going down, because he charged right up to the commander and punched her in the face. Uh, because that's just what Zata does, and he's upset that he could not protect the people around him, and he's
Hmm.
upset that he couldn't last longer, or even when he tried to put on a last stand, he couldn't even stay up long enough for his friends to get away. That's what he's upset about.
Yeah. So Zada feels like his purpose in the group is not being fulfilled because he's not fighting as well as he's used to.
Yeah, I mean, you as the vanguard, he wants to be the first in, last out, and he couldn't even take down one person that fight. I don't think he took. Yeah, he didn't take down anybody that fight because everybody else took down the cultists. He went straight for the demon commander, and then
Mm-hmm.
got Killian up, and then
Yeah.
got was down, and it was just playing down and up the rest of the fight. So yeah, it's just he knows he's not the strongest yet, but he has been feeling pretty good. I would say the last time he didn't feel as great is when the Kraken went. The Kraken got away, but he at least understood that like it wasn't advantageous for him because it was something in the water. He's not
Yeah, yeah.
able to really breathe in
That's not his
water, and
element, yeah.
just yeah. So he felt a little okay about that, but this time he got he he knew there was an ambush. He knew what was coming. He challenged them, but he couldn't do anything. He's pretty bummed about that.
Is this the first time that Zata has experienced something like this?
Losing a fight? No. Losing this hard? Yes.
Really? That's news to me.
Yeah. Sada, this would be his first time that I would say since he was training when he was younger that he has got beaten so badly.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Are we
Um.
gonna, mhm.
Go ahead. No, go
are,
ahead.
are we gonna see this play out in his mannerisms, like, as we continue down the road?
I think
Like,
you already
on
have.
our journey,
Zada's.
yeah.
Yeah, you already seen it now. Zada's all about, hey, I get an army and we're gonna go beat those people that did these things to us. Yeah, did it.
I
Do it.
hadn't realized that that was related, the army thing, yeah.
Yeah, Zada just thinks there's nothing inherently good or evil about a particular object or item. It's just how the object is used. So for him, this army is just another tool or weapon, and it just needs to be handled carefully, but it can be used, and he
Yeah,
wants to use it.
yeah.
So he wants to go back and he wants to show that he can handle these types of things. He's not necessarily ever been a commander, like maybe just like in terms of small groups that he
Mm,
probably went with hunting and stuff like that, he was probably in charge of,
mm-hmm.
but never in charge of, a giant army. But Zada always says, I can learn any weapon. I can figure out how to use this. I can use this to our advantage. And if people are unwilling to use the weapon, then I will pick up the slack.
So I'm kind of curious. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the army situation because I wanted to hear what you thought about Marway
Mm-hmm.
and the clauses that he put into the contract.
If Zada figures out his clauses, I don't think Zada has a problem with it because he trusts Marway. But if Marway takes away his ability to use a weapon, he will be severely hurt by that trust that he gave him. He's not going to be somebody. You fight with family and you fight with people that you're close to, and he
Yeah,
understands that. But he would be incredibly. He's placed his trust in Marway to do a good thing, and he's hoping that Marway understands where Zada's coming from and keeps that trust in him. So it's like trust is a two-way street, and if you hurt that two-way street, he's going to be not as open as he has been. And he understands right now he understands Marway is in a bad spot. He can't
mm-hmm.
understand leaving from what he understands from his past, like leaving your family behind, your home being taken over. And for Zada, it would be do everything in your power to take that back and
Yeah,
do exact vengeance on the person who did this to you.
yeah.
So he's trying to help him achieve that goal. And if by trying to do that, Marway takes away the ability he's trying to give him to do that, he will feel betrayed.
I'm trying to remember. Did Killian not read out the extra clauses that Marway put in?
He did, but he also
Okay.
trusts Marway enough to say like,
Mm,
you know me enough because we were both on the same side of when the treasurer was possessed. We killed him,
mm-hmm,
and Marway
mm-hmm.
was like, yeah,
That was the
totally
right move, yeah.
justifiable, yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
then so Zada trusts him to understand that they're he believes that they may not exactly agree upon like the visions of war and what it is, but at least they understand that to save a bad person is a bad person and they need to
Yeah.
be punished.
So does Zata know that Maroi put those clauses in because of Zata?
No, Zada just thinks that he did it just to protect everybody, and what
Yeah,
he
yeah,
understands
definitely
is
not
he,
targeted to anyone in particular.
yeah, not targeting anyone in particular. It's just, hey, this is a check and balance. He's like, that's fine, I get it. There's smarter people here than me, so they will know what to do.
Okay, I love that. Okay, there was one thing we wanted to talk about losing the fight, and what was the other thing we wanted to talk about? Now I've already forgotten.
Oh shit! Oh, I'm trying to think. Losing the fight. I can't even remember
I
now.
can't remember either.
Just I guess Prasad's state of mind is, yeah, he's just frazzled right now because of it. Um,
Is he like so he's like overcompensating with this army?
Not overcompensating. It's he's more resolved, I would say, because when you get knocked down, you
Mm-hmm.
got to get better. So
I
he's going
see.
to be, I have to
He's
get better. I
determined.
need to
Yeah.
get better. Yeah. So he's
Yeah.
going to like he was taking it pretty easy. Like he was able to really get through things. Nothing's been too bad of a challenge since. Yeah, I don't think nothing's been like terribly except for the Bastos. The Bastos Knolls got him down, but he expect like it. This was something that could stopped him from being able to move. So he was like, magic stuff. It sucks, just how it is. But this one, it was pure brute strength, and it
Yeah.
destroyed him.
Yeah.
Like martial prowess against him, and it like destroyed him.
Yeah.
So he's just upset about it. But again, he's determined. He's determined now. We've been given a new weapon. I can use this weapon against the things that just attacked us. So I'm going to learn how to use this weapon
Yeah. And
to its best.
I remember Zata had wanted to try to use the army to help Marway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so tell me more
Yes.
about that.
So again, anybody that wrongs anybody, like I said earlier, he couldn't imagine his hometown being wiped out and his
Yeah.
family being wiped out
Yeah.
because his family is alive and well and doing great. I think Zada has no trauma for family. I think one
Yeah.
of probably the only people that doesn't have any family trauma. He's just like, yeah, my mom and dad are fine. I just left and they're good. Like they're doing great.
Yeah.
He has a good relationship with both of them. So he can't imagine somebody losing their home and not wanting to try to do everything they can to avenge, the death of your home and your family. Like he knows his mother died, so take it back, make the person pay. And same with Killian. Like Killian, like what he's learned, like he's been hurt, and there are people out there that, again, people that are supposed to protect him and help him that are going against him. And Zada finds that to be like unforgivable. Like if you
Yeah.
say you're part of a group and you're not willing to bat for them, and even if you don't agree with them 100%, you still protect them. You don't go and kill them. You talk it out. You may fight, but you still are on the same team. And these
Yeah.
people are willing to kill Killian. So he's like, your order's fucked. Just kill them all. Wipe them out. Doesn't matter. And like the person that he really hurt, it doesn't matter if that person was a pawn or just given orders. You decided to do the orders. If you can't understand, like, if you won't stand up for your side or your beliefs and you don't think this other person, or if you do think Killian's evil, it doesn't matter. It's his friend and he believes in Killian 100%. So
Yeah.
you go against him, he will bring down unrighteous fury on you. He doesn't care one way or another. He doesn't care if you are giving orders. It doesn't matter because to him, it's just that he can't think about the nuances of things because then you're paralyzed. It's either you're with us or you're against us. And if you are against us, if you turn any type of violence to us, violence will be met with violence. And that's just how it is.
So I'm kind of curious, how do you think Maraway is feeling about using the army to help the situation with Sanctuary?
I think he'll be hesitant. I don't think he's willing to. I he wants to try to find, I think, a more peaceful way of doing things because that's just how he is. A more like way to get in without having people be sacrificed. Like I don't
Yeah,
think he cares about the person being killed. I think he's just
right,
worried about the
right.
citizens being there.
Yeah,
Zata is people are going to die. Doesn't matter. It's war. Both sides there are losses. It doesn't matter who it is. It's how bad are you willing to win and what are you willing to sacrifice to get that win. And he understands it's the law of things. And he again his priest or he is a priest of the goddess of war. He understands war in a fundamental level. Like there will be losses. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter if you do it or you don't do it because for him
mm-hmm.
the more time he takes, the more people suffer, possibly die. If you're not willing to if you're not willing to go in, doesn't matter what you do. Either you, on purpose, are killing people, or on by not doing anything, you are also killing people.
Kara says, Zada is like peacekeeper. I don't care how many men, women, and children I kill to achieve peace.
I mean, kind of. Not in the sense of like he's not going to actively go out and kill innocent people to achieve his goals. He understands that people like he understands the other side will use also whatever means to stop. And if that means they have to sacrifice people to try to stay your hand, then he understands that you may have to keep on fighting even though those people may die. And he
Yeah,
understands it.
yeah.
Uh,
Sometimes that's the price.
yeah, again, what are you willing to sacrifice to achieve your goals? And if you don't understand that, then why are you fighting?
I feel like this belief is going to cause a lot of just conflict within the group, and I'm really curious how things are going to play out because I don't know. I feel like you guys are both so strong in your beliefs and your sense of self.
Hmm.
What
Zada is chaotic, or he is true neutral. He believes in complete balance. He does not. He's it's more of the circle of life. He believes that there are predators and there are prey. That is it. You either fight or you don't. And even prey can try to fight against a predator. That's how the world works. And there is good and there is evil, and one cannot exist without the other.
Yeah, that, thank you, David. That's something that I wanted to ask about because I don't remember if you were there, but somebody said after the stream, I think it might have been Kara, um, who said that they think Zada might be lawful evil.
Chaotic evil, lawful
Oh,
evil.
yeah.
Yeah. No, he is true neutral. He believes in yeah. Um but again, alignment system feels very rigid, but in the core his core belief he believes the circle of life. And he understands if you saw the episode that everything is a war. Everything is a fight. Living is a fight, breathing is a fight. Everything is war. Everything you do to survive, you are surviving because you're fighting to survive. You're not giving it to you. You have to fight. And by everything in there, that's why he believes in the goddess of war, and that's why he believes in the circle of life, because he sees it played out in the plains all the time. The weak succumb to the strong have to survive, and they will kill whatever they need to do to survive and to make their pack survive. A lion will kill anything to make sure that they get fed and their children are fed. So why should people be any different?
Uh, Kara wants to share our everyone's alignments in the chat. Yes, that would be really fun if we shared about them. Maybe we can chat about them a little bit. I'd be kind of curious to see if anybody's has shifted at all. Do you?
Uh,
Yeah.
has I don't think hmm, Zata is not. I don't think he is evil because he doesn't believe in doing evil things. But if people hurt his friends or around him, he is not afraid to do horrible things to them.
I guess I'm kind of curious because when it comes to evil, I think, I think a good evil character doesn't have
Mhm.
evil intentions, right? They don't.
Exactly. No.
But that doesn't mean they're not evil. Do you
But to
think?
them, they're doing what's necessary
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Do you think Zada's going to affect that?
as on the
He's,
choices that he gets made. Of
do you think that that's a possibility?
course, is a possibility. Zata. He's already feeling kind of strained. A lot of people don't seem to understand where he's coming from, and they always shame him on what he's done. And he's like, I don't understand why you guys don't understand where I'm coming from. Like, these things should be givens, and you guys are fighting me so hard against it. Like, a person just tried to kill you. We're going to dress his wounds and try to bury him. Like, no, he was a terrible person. He deserves to be left for the carrion beast to eat on his corpse. That way he could at least feed the circle of life, do something good out there. And um he doesn't understand why people are so hesitant to not take a life if it's necessary. Like, if you are the person out there willing to, if people are out there to kill you, you should be able to kill them back. And a lot of people seem very mm, hesitant. And I think he finds right now he thinks that you guys are just very naive.
Hmm.
That's just not how the way of the world works, and that through the adventures you guys will understand that this is how it works. This is the world. Like, this is how things work. But it's not to say that he is not in completely frustrated with you guys. But again, he's not going to actively rise up against you. You guys are still his family. And he will. We may not agree, but we still have to fight together to
Yeah.
live and
Yeah.
survive.
That was the thing, Royal. That was the second point, which is people don't understand Zada. That's what we were forgetting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, neutral hungry. Yeah. Bula's Bula's alignment is neutral hungry.
Yes. He he is. She is. I think he has he under like he gets parts of everybody and understands them, but he also has a lot of friction with a lot of people. I think the only people he doesn't have any friction with right now is probably Eidos and Serafina, because you guys haven't actively tried to stop him from doing something
Yeah,
because
I
he's.
think it's because they're more neutral.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Seraphina's, just from her history, I think she wants to become more powerful. And so I think there's a part of her that understands. Because in a sense, Zada's trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, Zara's trying to become stronger to protect the things that, like, his convictions, to make sure that his convictions are seen and he can do the things that he needs to get done. And I think that's why Eidos, Serafina, and himself don't really have any real friction going on. Eidos maybe have voiced a little bit, but it's nothing that like Marway, Bula, or Killian have actively gone against what Zada has done.
Yeah, I think Seraphina will be more hesitant if there's casualties. I don't think she is as um, willing to let that happen as Zada is. So that'll be interesting when that comes up.
Yeah. Uh, Zada's the ones that's willing to make the hard calls, and he understands again. Sometimes sacrifices need to be made, and he's okay with that. Was is it willing to sacrifice you guys? No. If he had to sacrifice one of you guys or 10 people, he's gonna say like, "Fuck those 10 people." I'm gonna save you guys every single time. I don't care about 10 random people. They're not important to me.
That is for sure the making of an evil character. That's what you're describing.
That's how it is. He cares about the people around him. He doesn't care about the people out in the world.
That's so romantic, but also dangerous.
Yeah, Zada's a completely dangerous person. That's how he is. Um, but yeah, if 10 people, if he has to choose between, if it's a trolley problem, do you save one
Yeah,
loved one or do you save 10 random people? Zada's gonna push that lever every time to the person he knows. He doesn't care about those 10 other people.
yeah.
It's their turn. It was their turn to die, and if he had something to do to protect the people that he cared about, that's all that matters.
Yes, this is very interesting. Do you think how does Zada feel about not being understood by the group?
Frustrated. He tried to give you guys a little bit of spiel, like how everything is war, everything is a fight. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter what it
yeah.
is, everything is a war, and he's trying to keep you guys, like, try to give you guys an understanding of how he sees the world. Um, and he's hoping that kind of he's trying to share a little bit because he sees that you guys don't understand where he's coming from, and he's trying to be more like a parent, and he's trying to give. He is giving a little bit, like when Killian's all like, "Don't kill them." He's like, "All right, I won't kill them.
That was
They're gonna
disgusting.
wish.
That was
They're gonna wish they
so
died."
weird. I did not like that. That was messed
Oh,
up,
thank you.
man. I still think about that.
Yeah,
That's weird.
Zada said, "I won't kill them, but they're not going to be able to hurt us anymore ever again. If I take their ability to hurt us, they can't hurt us.
Yeah, that
They're
was just
alive."
that was just weirdly sadistic, I think.
Yeah, Zada doesn't like it when people hurt the people that he's around. He will go that extra mile, and he thought he was doing very good for himself. He's like, "I didn't kill them.
Yeah, sure.
But they can't run away now, and they can't hurt us. So now they are completely like they're harmless. So now we don't have to worry about them. So whatever you want to do with them is fine, whatever, because they
Zada
can't hurt us."
Zada is a cat, to answer your question.
He is a littlin. He is a lion man. He is a giant lion boy from the plains in the middle of nowhere.
Just a small town
um,
boy.
he's just a small town boy knowing how to slaughter everyone around him. Like I said, he worships a goddess of war. He understands war. Um, and he is willing to sacrifice it to protect the ones around him. The vulnerable to red dot damage, possibly. You'll have to I guess we'll have to see if there's a red dot and see if he chases it.
Oh
But
man, I want to.
but yeah, I mean that is how I built him. That's just, you know, he is very core to what his belief system is,
Yeah,
and he does not sway very difficult, like very well, with people like that challenge it. Like if other people were to come up and challenge him, he doesn't care. But you guys are
yeah,
trying to tell him to challenge it, and he's like, "Why don't you understand my point of view? But fine, I will try to understand your point of view." And he's like, "Look, I did a good thing," and everybody's like, "You're a horrible monster." He's like, I did what you asked. Gosh,
yeah.
they
I
can't hurt anybody anymore.
That was so gross. You're like, I'm gonna break his leg and then set it so it's not healed right.
Yeah, so it doesn't heal right. He can't run away now. Now we don't have to worry. We
So
don't have to spend extra resources to watch him. Because if he decides to run away, he ain't getting far. And if he don't have his fingers, he can't cast magic. So it's all good.
yeah, that was really great.
Mm-hmm. For
Oh my
Zata,
gosh.
he let him live. He let him live, so it's all good, right?
Yeah, I do feel like Zata is growing and changing as we continue. I'd be curious to see if other people change because honestly, I don't think Maraway is really going to shift in his feelings about innocent people dying.
Yeah.
I just don't think
No,
that's going to happen.
I just think that's how, things are with Bobby and Marloway's character. He has a very strong belief system,
Yeah.
and he went through a lot of trauma where Zada, it's all about principles and stuff that he's been built on, not something that's been thrusted upon him. It's something that he's cultivated over time. So he can
Hmm.
understand swaying a little bit, where Marway has had such trauma happen to him and the way he was raised. Like, the way he was raised, you protect the innocent and stuff like that. And from what I understand, and Zada is, we are a tribe, we protect each other, but we will go to war. We will destroy other people if need be. And in his side of the world, it's probably completely acceptable.
Y'all did
So
conscript an army, an infernal army.
an infernal army, yeah, it's just another weapon for Zada. But yeah, for him, this is like where he's from. This is completely. I feel maybe he may do a little bit of extremes. Maybe he does a little bit of liberty on how his goddesses' views are. But these are his personal views and what he's cultivated through learning from his mother and from his tribe and seeing the world around him in a very desolate place. Like, you guys are in a place full of natural resources. Where he's from, there's not a lot of natural resources. It's hunt or be hunted. It is kill or be killed constantly. And if you don't have enough food, people are going to die.
Is that,
So,
go ahead.
no, no, go ahead.
Is
You can
that
go.
the trauma that you were referring to, or is it something else?
I would say Zada doesn't have any trauma. He's
Oh, okay,
it's just the
okay.
fact of it's just the fact of life of where he came from.
I see,
That's what
I
he
see.
cultivated.
I understand. Okay, okay. I I thought
Like,
you had mentioned trauma, but I see what you're saying now.
Zada doesn't really have any trauma. Zada doesn't have any real bad. Like, he doesn't have family problems. He
Yeah.
lives with his family. They had a great relationship, and then he left. And yeah, his life is trauma. But how do you tell somebody that where they lived up is trauma, where it was just basic survival? That's just how things
Yeah.
are. And to him, that's how he was when he was born, and that's how he was until he came over here, where you guys had so many resources. He was like, wow, you guys have fresh water whenever you want it. You guys have food whenever you want it. You can go out to the store and like just eat it. But like when times are tough and you have to like ration, like do you guys
Yeah.
have to worry about starving, rationing, like doing other people? Have you ever had to like go to another tribe that's been out in the land and just kill them so you can take their resources? Is that something you've ever had to do to make sure that your people survive?
Yeah, that's really intense. I don't think Serafina has experienced anything like that.
Oh, that's basic life for him. So how do you tell somebody that's like that's just that's their everyday life?
Yeah.
So, like I said, that's what he cultivated. That's the knowledge that he has, and that's his belief system. People around you matter the most, and everybody else can burn for all he cares.
So tell me, Zada is willing to do a lot for, the group now.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that priority measure up against his lion love? I'm gonna ask about this literally every time.
Because
So
every time,
yeah.
uh, I
I
mean,
just want
they
to know
are.
more about it. That's what I
Just want to
want.
know more about it. The person that he is, I mean, it's part of his tribe, so it's always going to come first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like anybody in his tribe would. Anybody in his tribe is always
They're
going to
always number
be.
one.
They're always number one. And you guys are part of that tribe now, so you guys are number one. Everybody else doesn't matter.
Yeah. There's an in group, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's your group, and that's
Yeah.
it. That's how it is. And I think again, because of where he's lived and everything else, like he's had to fight other people. He's had to have other people fight him for resources. There's other people been fighting him for resources, whether it be different, groups of people, orcs, other things like that. Like, if there are no resources, obviously people are going to fight over the resources that are available. And he has had to fight other people. Maybe they had seen each other in trading or passing in hunting groups and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it comes down to it's you or me. And I'm going to choose me every time.
Is okay, Zada's lion love. Is the lion love also strong? Are they
Mm-hmm.
already strong? Okay, okay. So Zada wants to be as strong to feel like he's equal. Is that what it is?
Zata doesn't. I think Zata puts himself on a higher standard. He has to be better than everybody
Really?
else.
Better than his
He
lion love?
better than his lion love, better than his father, better than his chief. He needs to be the best. He has to be the best.
Why?
That's a good question, isn't it? But he's got to be the best.
Does he have plans
Does
for,
he have plan?
yeah, like, does he want to be the best because he wants to be the chief?
Mm-mm. He just wants to be the best.
Okay, okay. So it's not for power, it's just a
No.
drive and to impress his lion love.
To impress, I think, everybody, to show that the way it's to show that his way of thinking is the best way. Because if he is the strongest, then
Then
obviously
he's
that's the
right.
best way to do. Then he's right. Yeah, if you're the
If you're the
strongest, you're right.
strongest, you're right.
You're right. I mean, that's how he's again like he like a apex predator. Whatever they do must be right. They're the strongest there, so that's the way he sees things. If he is the strongest, if he can take on anything and come out on top, then his way of thinking that got him there must be the correct way of doing it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I got a couple wrap up questions. What do
Sure.
you think is in store for us in the next couple episodes? By the way, I'm gonna be out. I'm not gonna be
I
on this
know we're gonna
stream for
have
2 weeks, so I don't know what's gonna happen. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
give me some predictions.
Predictions. We're going to try to unsuccessfully sneak into a place because stealth missions never go well. Something's going to
Especially
happen,
with
and
Zada
hey,
doing
Zada's
weird
actually
stuff.
incredibly stealthy.
You just do weird things.
Does weird things. Most
Yeah.
things like what? What weird
Like
things?
climbing on the side of buildings and like
Hmm?
ripping off the siding, causing a commotion.
Uh, yeah, general population.
Infernal army turns out badly for the general populace.
Again, Zada tries to do the best of what he understands, and his is seek, hunt, and like all his stealth comes from hunting. He's like, I go with an exact purpose to get things. I will do what I can, what I think is best at the time to do this. What is it always the best ideas? No, but he is trying his best.
Yeah.
Um, so I believe that we will probably get caught at some point. Uh, Zada's gonna fight as he normally does, and he will fight as hard as he can. And if anybody should get really hurt, just someone's gonna get really messed up like they normally do. He doesn't like it when his friends go down in a fight.
Yeah.
And if that whenever that person whoever made his friend go down, they will die.
Yeah.
And usually in a not very pleasant way.
Yeah. And then Zana has no sense of like self-preservation. It's crazy.
No. No. Well, he has a little bit. Like he understands like there are unwinnable fights, right? He understands that like there is always going to be usually something stronger, and he does, but he understands that he's not going to be the first one to run away from a fight. He's going to be the last one with
Okay, I see.
everyone pushing back.
I see.
And that's what he was doing. He like when he went down, he was trying to get everybody like everything focus on me. You guys get
Yeah.
there, and then I can run out because he's
Yeah.
like I trust my speed. I trust my being able to disengage and get out of there. He
Yeah.
didn't trust yours or Idos's ability to get out um quickly.
I will just have you know that I misty stepped for the first time and it went
I know he
perfectly.
never knew that you could do that. He thought you had to run. He was like, "Oh man, Seraphina running? I don't know." So he tried to just give you guys as much time as possible. So
Yeah, Seraphine is not good on the terrain. As Bobby will tell you about that one time, I spent like all my luckies trying to make a jump.
right,
I could not make
yeah.
it.
Now Zata can he can move 150, 165 feet
That's
in a turn if he
crazy.
feels
That's
like it.
crazy. I'm kind of curious. So, as a closing question, I'm kind of curious. This is for chat too.
Yeah.
What is your real life alignment?
Uh, Mine. I think I've said this before. I feel like I'm more of a chaotic good person. I believe
Yeah.
in my version of chaotic good. Chaotic good is like the rebel or something like that. Mine is
Is
it
like the
is
what?
a
You said the rebel?
uh is a rebel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So a rebel is usually considered like a chaotic good character. I
Hmm.
would
Okay.
consider myself to be in I have a strong moral standing and it conflicts with the law of the world or the law of the land, like, justice system and stuff like that. I feel like some of those things do not apply very well or applicable, and but I still have a very strong sense of justice and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But it may not align exactly with what, because lawful good is the law of that was placed in front of you. So like the laws of the, whatever you're at, the law of, the city you're in, you follow that law to a T. You follow everything to the letter. That's would be like a lawful good character to me. Zata is, or not Zata, me
Royal. Yeah.
personally, Royal will understands that there are some nuances and that some laws do not help in certain locations. Like for a lawful person, like a person who steals food for their family, are they really bad
Yeah. Yeah.
if they're poor? For Royal, it's like no, they need to eat. They have to do something evil, not necessarily for the good of the community, but at the same point in time, if it is not done in excess and you're not trying to solve the problem, then that is not something that should be done.
Yeah.
But he understands infractions and not people. The people aren't perfect.
Yeah.
People are not perfect people.
Bobby says, neutral good.
Neutral good.
Neutral
He's a
good.
he's a normal NPC. Good job,
I
Bobby.
wonder if
Most
anybody
NPCs are neutral good.
are neutral good. I wonder if anybody
Mm-hmm.
would ever say that they're evil. Do you think people like
I would.
self-identify?
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a difficult question. I think you would really have to understand yourself. And understand. I think for us, the evil would be: are you more self-serving than anything else?
Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. It's just how much do you put yourself ahead of
Mm-hmm.
others?
Yeah.
The player handbook defines lawful good as creatures can be counted on to do the right thing as expected by society. That's me. I drive the speed limit. I would just like to say, before he put that in there, I guessed lawful good. So that seems accurate. He says, I pay my taxes. I wait at crosswalks.
Yeah, I am definitely one that will follow most of the rules, but there are some rules that I don't agree with.
Yeah, I would say I feel like I'm more chaotic good. Um, I also pay my taxes, but I won't wait at a crosswalk. That's silly. Unless there's children around, I feel like then you should. Definitely wish I was more counterculture, but I definitely am not in practice. I think that's adorable. You're like, yeah.
I mean, it's understandable. It's better to follow the rules and do them correctly for the good of everybody in the community. But I just know myself too much that I just don't. I
Yeah.
just don't all the time. Like most of the time, yes, not all the time.
Yeah, I think 'cause sometimes the rules are stupid and
Yeah, I agree.
eh, that's it. I mean,
I think.
I work in a bureaucracy, so I feel
Oh
like
God.
I mean, how can I? How can you live by all these rules? They're all stupid.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like I said, at one point in time, I was trying to be a police officer, so I saw a lot of silly rules, and I talked to a lot of police officers, and they, again, the looting was going on during one time. My teacher told me like there was a looting going on, and he stopped a man who was looting, and he was had diapers, and he's like, I need it for my
Mm,
kids. There's no one to pay. And he's like, do I arrest this person
yeah,
or do you let him go? And he said I let him go, and I said I would completely. But at law, if you are the letter of the law, you would have taken that person in. Doesn't matter.
hmm. I don't know. I don't know if that's true because I feel like police officers have like discretion, so I feel like you can exercise that. I don't think you need to bring people
You're not
in.
supposed to. You're not supposed to. You are the enforcer of the law. Whatever the law states, you are supposed to enforce it 100% of the time.
Really?
Doesn't
That's
matter.
impossible. That's we don't
Exactly.
have the resources for that. That's crazy.
No, I know, but everybody expects that from you.
Kara says, I'm thinking hard and think I'm chaotic good. Do no harm but tolerate no shit. I think that's true too. There's a lot of chaotic good people in our group.
Yeah, I think the thing I think about chaotic good people are is you have your own strong moral standing, and if
Yeah,
that's your idea and it's usually for the good of the people, eh, of all people,
yeah,
then I think you definitely fall under that category. I think lawful people are just a lot. I mean, I definitely know people that are definitely, letter of the law. It is 100%. That's just how it is, and I get it. It's just it's a hard sell for me because then you're trusting other people to have your best interest at heart, and I
yeah,
think that it's more difficult to allow yourself that because then you're not thinking for yourself.
yeah. Oh man. Okay. Thank you for popping into tea time.
Of course.
Yeah. It's always good to chat, and I always want to ask you about your lion love. So that's definitely gonna come up like literally every time until I get all the details.
Yeah, whenever we decide to go back to his hometown, maybe you'll
I'm
learn a
gonna
little
meet
more.
him. I'm gonna be at your wedding.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just gonna crash
it,
it.
where do you need to go to your town? Why? Because reasons. Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Sure, I want to go see my mom and dad.
Yeah.
Just gonna
Uh,
question everybody there in the town. Just be
be like,
like,
hmm.
no.
Be like this one. Oh man. Okay. I have so many questions, but I'll save it for next time.
Yeah, no problem.
All
Of
right. Thanks for popping in and
course.
thanks for a good evening. I look forward to seeing you after break. I'll be at our Freaky Friday um,
Oh,
special
you didn't
one shot. Did I?
special.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything about it yet, but maybe there's a hint. There you go. See,
I
she
spelled
spilled a
a
little
T.
tea. She
Oh
spilled a little tea, guys. It's okay. Um,
my god.
so we'll see you
Yeah, I
all
look forward
with
to
we'll still
our
see
special
Kara back. And, yeah, our
episode.
special when she's back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, till then.
All right. Have a good evening.
Bye, guys.